Hello, hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do January 2023 for the sign of Gemini. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome, and if you are coming back, welcome back, Gemini. Glad to see you here again. Hope the holidays were enjoyable for you and you were filled with fun, laughter, cheer, good vibes all around. So I'm going to open it up with a general inquiry. What does Gemini need to hear starting off this hopefully fabulous new year, 2023? What does Gemini need to hear for January 2023, please? Message for Gemini. Okay, cards of advice, then we'll jump right into it. Cards of advice. No, not feeling that. Cards of advice for the Gemini. Apparently half the deck could be your cards of advice, but I'm not going to do that. It's very, very difficult to read that way. Okay, let's do it. Eight of Clubs. I don't remember exactly what your last reading was, but there was some kind of decision to be made. You're looking at a decision again. You're at some kind of crossroads. It also could be you stuck on an idea, such as a desired outcome, for example. You know, when we just want things to kind of go our way, and it could be getting in the way of this decision. If you would like to actually look at that last reading, I do have a playlist for you, Gemini. It'll pop up in the right hand corner at the end of this video, but you could also go to my channel and just find the playlist, okay? Well, things are definitely still up in the air, and I think it is about this decision. There's also the Fool energy with this black and white Joker. The Fool represents new starts in some cases, or I like to kind of see it as we don't know what's behind the corner. Or not behind the corner, but behind the curtain. Or we don't know what's around the corner, right? We don't see what's coming. It sounds a little bit ominous, like you're probably thinking, uh-oh, what's headed my way? It doesn't have to be negative. This is, honestly, Fool energy to me is very neutral. It's just that we are in some way not knowledgeable to something that could unfold or occur, if that makes sense. Not trying to be too mysterious with that. It's just we don't have crystal balls. Okay, Two of Clubs. There's some kind of communication that needs to happen. Or you're experiencing some kind of instability with somebody in terms of communication. If this communication occurs the way it should, it's going to restore balance and harmony. Eight of Diamonds. This suspiciously looks very much like the reading I just did for Taurus. If you have Taurus in your chart, you might want to check that video out. Taurus also had the Two of Clubs, and I did shuffle. I certainly shuffled. You mean you can see me pull the cards out. I'm not getting stuck like in the same pattern when I do that. I know it's just kind of odd that they also had the Two of Clubs about the communication, and also the Eight of Diamonds, which talks about entrepreneurial pursuits, doing something solo, putting effort and time and energy into something completely independent. It usually means, again, entrepreneurial business, career, starting up like a small side hustle, that kind of thing. But the important thing to realize, if you're not like actually actively doing that, you're putting time and energy towards something and you're seeing the rewards from that. It's actually very nice. I mean, you got the 2 8s here, so things are going forward. and you're not stuck, but you are stuck on a decision. And that's what's still up in the air. And I'm pretty sure that was kind of the atmosphere of that last reading for the end of December. Six of Hearts. The sixes talk about options and opportunities coming your way. This talks about relationships, though. This isn't career. This stuff out here very much could be career, business. I also see the Six of Hearts relationships as being professional. So you could be potentially meeting somebody who's going to become very important to you in business. That doesn't mean you're going to be romantically involved with them, but they are going to become a friend, an ally, somebody you learn to trust, for example. The meaning to come out of that Six of Hearts is whatever happened in the past, be it romantic or professional relationship or friendship, you're not carrying around any baggage. You know, the energy is open for you to meet that new connection. That's the important thing to recognize with the Six of Hearts. What else can you tell me about Gemini and perhaps their crossroads decision, perhaps the communication, things being up in the air? What else can you tell me here? Oh, okay. We got two. The Nine of Diamonds and the Four of Spades. The Nine of Diamonds does talk about achievement. So again, I see it tying in with the Eight of Diamonds, and I swear the Taurus reading was a lot like this. It's just strange the same cards would come out. Anyway, and in the same position. That's how I know. That's how I remember. I do see that Nine of Diamonds tied up with the Eight of Diamonds in terms of some kind of success, achievement, something you're very satisfied with. It is a completion. And this completion, I think, has brought some kind of abundance, financial abundance in particular, because the Four of Spades talks about the security, feeling stable and secure in your home life, but more importantly, there was some kind of stress that's been relieved. You're in a period of stress relief. And since we are highlighted with diamonds, aka pentacles, I think the stress relief is monetary. It is about your finances. Anything else you can tell me about what's going on with Gemini and their new success? Wow, we got two fives that just popped out together, and these couldn't be further from the opposite. Well, you know, they're not opposites. I'm going to take that back. The Five of Hearts talks about separation. The separation does not have to be in terms of relationship, like a marriage breaking up, but it can. It could also be that somebody's just away from you, like someone going off to college, somebody traveling for business, that kind of thing. And it's changes that have occurred that have affected you emotionally. With the Five of Spades, it's also changes that have occurred in a breakup. I think you might have some relationship stuff mixed up with this reading, even though it was kind of going the direction of finances. Perhaps what to glean from this for me in your situation, Gemini, is that your finances have straightened themselves out. I mean, because you got, like I said, something is paid off here, and you've got this stress relief wrapped up in this Nine of Diamonds in a completion. But by the way, the Nine of Diamonds does indicate that you can also take some kind of financial responsibility, like pay off debt, that kind of thing. So the trouble seems to wrap around this relationship. Now, we did have that Six of Hearts, which I said could be romantic, more personal relationships, that kind of thing. I think you're coming out of a breakup, a separation. I don't necessarily see that you're bogged down with it. It's just kind of, I think, highlighting it for my benefit, so that I can say, yeah, Gemini's coming out of this that happened in the past, changes that happened in the past. which would make more sense with the Six of Hearts, that you are now capable and able to pursue relationships, okay? That's kind of how I'm interpreting that. Take it how it fits. Do not make it fit the situation by all means. These are general readings, so sometimes they may not resonate at all. I'm sure you've heard that listening to other tarot readers too, and it's very, very true. Okay, yes. Here's my confirmation that you went through some kind of major breakup. Major breakup. This Ten of Spades is a major chapter wrapping up in your life, a completion that's made full circle. It's also it can be a very traumatic event because it's not just loss and disappointment, but there's a period of having to grieve, a period of healing wrapped up with the Ten of Spades. I see it as it being behind you though, because of these two cards. I think it just wanted to pop out and say, hey, Gemini is leaving that behind. That's what's in your past. It's like the shadow at your back. I see that as like the shadow at your back. You're going forward into more positive forward motion, forward momentum in relationships, and you're open to it. Very nice though. I don't see anything here bogging you down. It's just all that's in the past, and it's pretty dark. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. I think we're going to probably get something about relationships here. It's just kind of my feeling. Wow, this is interesting. So the Ace of Hearts is a new start in the direction of something you're desiring. Could definitely do with relationships, right? But it came out with the Six of Diamonds, which talks about opportunities opening up for you in finance. Again, Six of Diamonds highlights your potential here to start taking major responsibility financially. And I don't mean that you've been irresponsible. It's just now you're going to have the means to do that. You know, the resources. I think with the Eight of Hearts, it's about following your heart, certainly, but also your instincts, which are in line with what you truly desire. And it's going to lead you to these financial opportunities that are just going to keep opening up for you. Because I think there's a big focus here on things working out for you financially, or perhaps that's really what you have on your mind, even though you have the potential to meet somebody special. Okay, Ace of Clubs, you're also acquiring new knowledge in some area. This is something you've just begun. If you haven't begun it, you're being encouraged to do so. Learning new skills, learning new knowledge. Maybe it's learning how to put together a website. Maybe it's learning a new skill, or acquiring some kind of certification so you can go after a job that you've had your eye on, you know? Nice. The Ten of Clubs. It is indicating here you are wrapping up a major chapter. It probably has to do with whatever you set out your goals financially, professionally. That's wrapped up, but also this past relationship, whatever that was, that the loss of some kind of relationship, and I do think it was relationship. It could, in the Ten of Spades, I didn't mention it because I don't think it's relevant. It can mean somebody passed away, but we had breakup and separation. Breakup isn't, to me, losing someone because they passed away. Breakup is like two people not getting along, and it's split spell, right? The Ten of Clubs talks about travel. There's an emphasis of travel, whether it be physical, mental, emotional. Metaphorically, I do see that sometimes as you're able to travel from one mindset to another, or you're going to be presented with opportunities to travel. Maybe now you have this desire, especially if you're single, to travel with a friend. Now that COVID is not such a hot issue and we can move around world again relatively safely. You're just like feeling it. You're like, yeah, I want to do some traveling now. I don't have to worry about this other stuff going on with the relationship and having to compromise with someone that you weren't getting along with, perhaps, and they didn't want to travel. Well, this is good news. The Ten of Clubs is always traveling for good reasons and good news. The King of Hearts. Yes, you're taking control, Gemini, of your emotional life, your emotional, um, what's the word I'm trying to get? Like your emotional, I'm going to say you're not control. It's not like you're emotionally out of control, but it's like I feel like you have a very balanced emotional state these days. And that shows that you're really taking it, I don't know, like, what is the example I'm trying to think of? Like, you ever gone through a period in your life where you just had a really bad attitude, for example? And you probably did have a bad attitude after coming out of this relationship because I don't think it was particularly pleasant. And so you just kind of had this bad vibe about you, bad energy. Well, this is somebody who's kind of got that under control and they're letting it go. And as a result, they're in this glowing King of Hearts energy. Now, this is also water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You could have that in your chart as well, but I just see that as a confirmation I said a minute ago about all this being behind you. Right? I said this is the shadow at your back. This is you going forward now, emotionally healthy and sound and at peace in some ways, so that you can open yourself up to new relationships. Because if we block ourselves up with all that anger and resentment and bitterness and distrust of other people, you're not going to be open to new relationships. And they're not going to come your way. I think we repel them because people can kind of sense that. Yeah, I think that's very good news there. Anything else as far as advice for Gemini would be fantastic. So things are feeling very secure and balanced in the home. This is just, you just like maybe again coming out of a period of things not being settled. The stress relief here, things are very, very much on an even keel. And maybe you had to like move, maybe you had to divvy up, assets and belongings and physical things with somebody else because you had a breakup, and now all of that is settled, right? Any more cards of advice for Gemini? Oh, good grief. This is all craziness. This was half the deck, but this one flew out while I was trying to put that in. This is very nice. This is the card of reaching some kind of ultimate prosperity and success. Probably, again, tied in with the 8 of Diamonds and the 9 of Diamonds. Yeah, baby. Yep. You've reached a level here that has wrapped up, again, another chapter in your life. Whatever energy and focus you had, this tells me that you're not necessarily at the end, and that's as far as you can go, because I think you're looking for new opportunities here, or at least they're going to come to you. But I think you like had a goal and you've reached it. That's what the 10 of Diamonds represents. So you're very, very satisfied, very happy. You're feeling very prosperous, even if you're not a millionaire. And this is all part of your destiny, and this has all been fated. Okay? When I see the 6 of Spades, it means you're following the life path that you are meant to follow. You're not off course. Perhaps someone out there needs the confirmation that they're going in the right direction. I think sometimes when we have major changes come up, like relationships that end, that were major, that you thought that would be there for forever because they were there for a long time, and we start to question, have I really been following my instincts, my gut? at my heart, like with the Ace of Hearts, following what you truly desire. This Six of Spades is confirming that yes, you are on the right path, and new opportunities and options will come to you as a result of that, because you've been following, I think, your intuition in those areas, right? One more card of advice. Well, how about two? There's that Queen of Clubs. If you joined me last month, Queen of Clubs showed up in every reading for December, and I was really wondering what that was all about. It seems to have broken that pattern this time around, so I'm just going to read it for what she is. She's not necessarily female. The Queen of Clubs is a fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. But with the Three of Diamonds, you're looking at some kind of... so you're comfortable with money or in finances, okay? But there's something about your financial situation that you're not certain of. I'm not trying to be mysterious with that, but there's some kind of confusion around it. That's what the Three of Diamonds represents. I don't think this is speaking to Gemini's involved with anybody, so I don't think that third element is another person. It's just like you have some conflicting desires or beliefs. It could tie back to this trying to make a decision and things being up in the air, and you're just kind of sitting on the fence because you're not really sure. I think you want to be generous to someone. You want to support perhaps your family, perhaps a sibling, somebody who's not doing so well. Perhaps that's where your heart is being pulled, because the Queen of Clubs is that kind of energy, very supportive and generous to others. It also represents somebody with some power and some authority. And I think with this financial gain and prosperity that you're experiencing, yes, there's a little bit of authority and power that comes with that. Unfortunately, money is power, no matter how small. And who it affects. There's, the almighty dollar gives us the power, per se, to purchase, to help others, to, in some cases that power means not spending it, keeping it to ourselves, not giving our money to certain causes or people or products or companies. I think that does tie into this decision. You're enjoying the prosperity here, Gemini, but you're just a little bit on the fence about which way you want to go. And I don't think it's like you have this prosperity, this abundance in your bank account, and you're looking at it going, gee, I don't know how to spend this money. It's not like that. It's like you have definite ideas about where you can use it, and that's what's confusing you. Like, you're not sure. I think most of us in, the real world have a finite amount of resources available to them at any time. So obviously, if you put a lot of money in one direction, finances in one direction, you're not going to be able to spend it in another direction. So perhaps you're trying to make, decisions about how to split it up, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Keep following your heart. This is going to just bring you more abundance. That's a very, very that's a very important clue to help you along this path, even though I think you have reached some kind of goal that you set out for yourself. And definitely learn something new, learn new skills, learn about something perhaps you have no knowledge of, like I said, a completely different area income that you could be making, or a new type of career that interests you, that kind of thing. And you've got really good control of your emotional state. Okay? Point blank. And you don't have to be male, but the king is, they have a firm hold. They know what they're doing. They feel very confident. And you may have some travel options here, some travel opportunities. Fantastic, right? Okay, if you want to see when the next video comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. I appreciate you being here. I hope this was helpful to you. And I will see you again soon. Take care until I do.